So guys, we're going to be giving you guys a new analysis for the new week, and I'm letting you guys know what we're seeing. Now, last week, these were some of the things we told you. We still have the drawings here so you can see exactly what happened. We told you the price will most likely drop down into this area and consolidate and then start to push upwards, and as you can see, that's what happened. Even though price actually dropped a bit lower, much more than I expected, even though I suspected that that could happen, but then I was able to get an entry from here. Right here, it was quite a tight stop loss that I took, right, and it was a significant profit, right, but I had to come out of the trade once I saw the price was now beginning to look like it was going to tank back down to my entry. So I came out somewhere around there, posted all this on our Telegram so you can go watch it. Now, I also missed a buy setup right here on Thursday and Friday. If you were on the charts, you know what happened on Thursday in the night, Nigerian time, right, or UK time. Donald Trump came up and started speaking. As I was just about to click the buy entry, that's when price just shot up, and I don't like to chase price. And I was wondering what happened, right? Why did the price move that fast? Because I was just about to get in, and that's when I found out that Trump was actually having a speech. Anyway, I missed that trade on Thursday, and I couldn't take any trade on Friday. So now in this new week, what are we going to be looking out for? Let's delete all these drawings so we can see things clearer. Now we'll start by going to um, the monthly time frame, right? Because as you all know, the month is already about to close. Okay, the month is about to close, and let me delete this. Let me delete um, this one too. We don't need those stats for the previous one, and this one too as well. So now, as you can see, this is the monthly time frame. Okay, so let's mark out the 50% fib. Now, if you've been following our videos here, you know what we like to do. All right, so the 50% fib is somewhere around here. I'm gonna have to be fast with this. I don't like this videos being too long, so we're gonna mark that out. All right, so that's our 50% monthly fib. So there's a most likely what's going to happen in this by next month. We'll see price probably push into that area. In fact, price might actually push back up to 5,000, right? And then from there, price might actually now drop down lower. That is if this month closes very bearish like this. All right, because we still have like 2 more days, if I'm correct, for the month to close. Today is 27th, 28th, 29th. Yeah, so we still have like 1 more day for the month to close. All right, so Monday or so the month will close. So let's see how it goes. Now let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's see what things are looking like on the weekly charts. Sorry, it's closing Tuesday, not Monday. So now on the weekly charts, we can see things clearer now. So we don't need this any longer. So looking at the weekly, I think we also need this one as well. I already marked the new one. So looking at the weekly, we're going to mark out the 50% weekly, 50% fib level for the weekly, right? So we're going to mark that out quickly. It's going to be somewhere. That's just wasting my time. So that's the 50% fib level for the weekly. So let's title that. All right. So what I'm seeing here is most likely, well, like we said, price will most likely push back up in the next month, right? In April, we'll see price going back up to probably around 5,000, and then from there we'll see a drop again if the month closes very bearish by Tuesday, right? But looking at what we have here on the weekly now, since we know price might be is looking like it's going upwards right now, right? We can expect price to come back down to the 50% fib of this weekly candle, but if we go to a lower time frame, I'm not very certain that will happen. It could happen, but if that doesn't happen, there's another level we're going to be entering from, right? Then also, let's also try and mark out this level right here. Let's mark out this level right there. Let's go to the daily. Let's see what things are looking like now. This is the level we marked out just now, I think. Okay. So looking at the daily, we have the monthly fib here. We have the 50% weekly fib here. All right. So what we see here now happening, definitely there seems to be a bullish momentum right now at the moment. That doesn't mean the buyers have resumed their bullishness, right? Doesn't mean the buyers are really in control. Price might not push higher, it might just get up to a retracement level, to a pull up to a resistance level, and then from there we'll probably start seeing some drop and the sellers continues probably. All right, but for now, so like we said, we're going to wait for price to come to this 50% weekly fib level, which somewhere around here, and from there probably a push up. But like I said, price might not come down to that level. Price might come down to this other level that we marked out. But what we can now do again is to mark out the 50 fib of the daily candle. Let's see where that is. Now, if you look here, you see that the 50 fib of the daily candle somehow, oh boy, why am I getting this all confused? I want to be fast with this, maybe that's why. The 50 fib is right here. It's very close to where we marked out, you see? So that means it's making sense, making a whole lot of sense. Let's title that. All right. So that's the 50% daily fib. So there's a tendency for price to come into that zone. So now we can delete this other one so we don't have too many things there. So price will most likely come into that zone and then we'll start buying. So we're going to keep an eye on this level, which is 4459 level, and then this other one, which is 4350 level. All right, so we're going to keep an eye for those two levels for price to get down into, and then from there we'll start buying. Let's go to the 4-hour. Let's see what things are looking like there. Now we can start seeing things even more clearer. All right, don't mind this trend line. It's not important right now. Let me use the opacity. Now, one other thing we can see here is we can see this sort of a heads and shoulders pattern right here. All right, we can see this heads and shoulders pattern right here. Let me increase the opacity. So that's a key, that's something to take note of, right? So you can see price is struggling to break above it. So maybe by next week we might see a break above that level. And if you also look here, you see some sort of a heads and shoulders pattern. This is already getting too long. Inverse heads and shoulders pattern. All right, and price seems to have broken above this, so we can expect price to come back down into this fib level and then from there break higher, and then we'll see a continuation of this sort. All right, so this is what I'm seeing could happen. I don't know if you guys saw that, so let's do this. So price will most likely come into this zone, and then from there we'll see a breakup, and then price continues higher. Right, so something of this nature. That's what I'm saying, something of this nature. Okay, then something else we'll take note of. Maybe I think if we go to the 1 hour, we'll see it better there, but we can mark it here as well. This is a trend line. So if price gives us the third touch there, it probably will push higher. Already in the lower time frame, you see it has already given us a third touch, I think. So let's go to the 1 hour. Let's see things. I think it's simple as this. Nothing much again to look for. Nothing much, exactly. So wait for price to come into this level. Now, as you can see, this is like a third touch here, like I said. All right, so if you look here, you see this was like the third touch, right? And that's what took this price higher. So I missed this buy here on Friday. I missed this buy, but no problem. So we'll wait for price to come here and then we get in from that zone. I think this is looking good, but if this level doesn't hold, then price will most likely drop back down to this 50% weekly fib that we've already marked out, and then from there we're going to be most likely looking for buys from that area, unless price is looking to break down completely, which I doubt that's going to happen. From here, I think it's going to happen much up around this monthly fib that we've already marked out, or closer to 5,000. So this is what I'm going to be looking out for, guys. We're going to be looking for buys from these levels. Let's go back to 4 hours. So something of this nature. This is what we're going to be looking out for, guys. I do hope you guys have a wonderful trading week. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to comment and like. Peace out, guys. Bye.